Alright guys, and in a first for our channel, we'll have a 1v1 of the Dwarves versus the Vampire Counts. This is a pretty interesting fight I wanted to go through with a lot of you, again, from the stream that we had over the weekend. Just so as you guys know, every Saturday we will be doing streams at 2 p.m. Pacific, so do feel free to chime in and if you want to watch me lose a whole bunch, or win a whole bunch, or just have fun in general. We do a lot of fun stuff. But we'll go through real quick what this army looks like here. We've got quite a bit of long beards here on our flanks, 3 units with the Grumbling Guard right there as well. We've got some Chaos, or I'm not sorry, not Chaos, some Dwarf Warriors here, 1, 2, 3, and 4 units, as well as a 5th one on the far flank as well. We have the Dragonfire Pass. You can't forget those boys in the band. We've got 2 units of Quarrelers in the back. I really like them because I don't have to worry so much about what's in front. With Thunderers, you do have to make sure you're on a hill or the line staggered enough that you're getting enough fire out. Then we have, of course, the Rangers. I can't ever remember these guys' names. Uthar's Raiders. So they're the Rangers with great weapons that are really going to help us put down a lot of the bigger objects we're going to see in a Vampire Count army. And there it goes. Look at that little guy. Woohoo! But we do have then some Dwarf Slayers in the back, and of course the Goblobber in the back as well. One of the better artillery pieces that the Dwarves do have to offer. And our opponent here has quite the anti-Dwarf army. A crap ton of Crypt Ghouls, 3 Varghulfs, the lovely Manny on his zombie dragon. Look at that thing. Oh, those muscles. Oh, I feel dirty looking at it. And then quite a bit of skeleton warriors here. Not too much to worry about with the skeleton warriors, but they still are a presence nonetheless to deal with. But what's really going to be scary is how we're going to deal with those Varghulfs, how those Crypt Horrors are going to be able to be brought to the fore. But let's just kind of see how this goes. They're already within range of our archers, so we can start doing some damage here. Get this up for you. Oh, sorry about that. So we've got let me slow this down again. So we do have the Varghulf starting to take some damage. This is my first time using Ulthar's Raiders, so I'm excited to use them. They seem like really cool units in general. What I can already say right off the bat here is we might have been able to get away with another unit of Rangers rather than another unit of Quarrelers, but it's hard to assume that your opponent is going to take an army like this when you get into that quick battle screen. Starting to focus down one Varghulf at a time, but Varghulfs, they care not for your rank and file, charging right through, right into the Toilet King himself, Thorgrim Grudgebearer, who I did not mention is our Lord. If I slow this down here, it is worth mentioning that I had intended on bringing a Runesmith, but time crunch got me and I didn't get the Runesmith out. I'm actually about 1,000 funds down in this army. That's an important note here, is that this army could be bolstered a little bit more. I had taken out a Longbeard, I believe, to bring a Runesmith. But we have the Varghulfs charging in headlong, doing some serious damage here. We got the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass on them. And we do have Ulthar's Raiders targeting down the mighty zombie dragon here. But we do have some zombies dealing with those being summoned in my middle line here. Got some Crypt Horrors in. This fight already is just a vicious cockfight. But the Varghulfs, pound as they might, they're going down quite quickly because we still have a back line intact as far as not being completely intercepted. But these zombies are going to see to my back line being silenced for a little bit. We have the debuff, which I've just really kind of gotten a chance to take a look at here. We did cast the debuff on this guy before they got intercepted, which does increase the amount of missile damage that Manny is going to be taking here. Bringing those Dragonback Slayers up and into the fight, trying to knock out those Varghulfs, get those things offline quite quickly. We need them done with. You can see here the west flank really starting to get tossed around. The Longbeard's getting knocked all over the place. Crypt Horrors all over the place. 1, 2 units of Crypt Horrors. Is there a third? No, just 2. And then we've got a Crypt Horror here in the center, taking out our Grumbling Guard, who is pretty well surrounded at this point, with a little bit of the zombies in the back, some Skeleton Warriors here. Manny starting to fly off from his position in the back here, but he was pretty well positioned to stay there the entire fight and really kind of harass with just his scalding leadership. We do have the first big charge. I want to come in close for that one. Right onto our lovely Quarrelers. How they're going to receive this, who knows? Probably poorly because they're Corlers and that's a dragon. Oof. The mighty beast. Oh, just skewers one dwarf. No beard for him. In the tabletop, it's important to note that the Quarlers are still very good fighters. Bringing him back up into the air, you can already get a sense for how... I'm sorry, I thought he was going back in the air. Manny is already knee-deep in that. My whole back line now is engaged as far as range go, except for my Ulthar's Raiders. They were able to cut down those zombies quickly and get back into the fight as far as range combat goes. The Toilet King himself, not overly delivering tons of damage, but at the same time, he is holding his own. Got those Ulthar Raiders bringing down these Vargulfs. We've got one breaking, one dead now. But let's transition those Ulthar's Raiders into Manny. We do have a Purple Sun that did a little bit of damage here to these Dwarf Warriors, dragging them away from the fight, crapping all over them. Seeing quite a bit go down here, and I apologize for... Oh, there it is, just the combined range combat onto Manny. He's going down hard and fast from those Raiders. Oof, oof, and then Manny is silenced. Down and out for the count here. One Vargulf still beating on the drums of the Toilet King himself. The Crypt Horrors have now pushed through to try and do some damage here. He got one last zombie off or zombie summon off that was able to lock up my Raiders once more. Other Vargulf, I'm sorry, I thought we had both down. Still one left. Doing quite a bit of damage to the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. At least I thought that was one that shot across the field. But things are not looking pretty good for either of us at this point. We both have quite a bit dead. My army still wholly intact, I'd say. Very little flanking going on. The Goblobbers don't have much targets as far as what they can safely launch into with Manny gone, but we can start picking off some of the larger targets on the flanks here, like the Crypt Horrors and the such. The east flank falling. These paltry 39 warriors left. These 22 already routing. Crypt Horrors coming in for the Grudge Bearer. Ooh, caught that right in the face, didn't you? But the Ulthar Raiders are still a very strong opponent, even when they're not shooting. And we do have our Slayers here, as you can see, peppering in, trying to get this last Vargulf down. They're focusing as much as they can on Thorgrim, trying to break my leadership, get that route going across the whole battlefield. They're pretty desperate at this point. With Manfred gone, they're going to need that extra oomph, I guess you could say. But the Grudge Bearer holding strong on his mighty throne. Longbeard still holding the line, Yeah, just look at it. Look at all those Crypt Horrors all over the place. Oof. But Thorgrim, alas, begins to rout. We do have some Crypt Horrors heading for the hills here. Majority of their army is now completely crumbling and disappearing. Still have a strong line. These far from the east flank dwarves come to rally to the rest of the dwarves' aid. And alas, Marked by Ulthar kicks in to finish off the remainder of our opponent here as the Toilet King eats some grass. But this was a very fun fight for me because this is the very first time I've actually won with dwarves. You can imagine how exhilarating that was for me, having no real experience with dwarves leading up to this fight, and actually coming out on top in a very, very gruesome match. A lot of what my opponent brought a lot of anti-dwarf units. I mean, I would have brought a very similar army. I probably would have brought more Graveguard than Skeleton Warriors, but those Crypt Horrors, those Vargulfs, him on the Zombie Dragon, I was pretty scared for the army as a whole. I think what really clutched it for me was Ulthar's Raiders. Their debuff to the line, as well as the Dragonback Slayers, which allowed me to target down those larger creatures, I think really helped bring out the win for me. In addition to that, you always have the magic damage of the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass and the Grumbling Guard as always being stalwart defenders, being obviously huge boons. But with the weaker kind of front line with skeleton warriors, my warriors themselves were able to trade very effectively, 97, 84, although not as huge on these numbers, but still a chunk out of their army. And the Quarrelers did quite a bit as well. I'm glad that they weren't the Thunderers, because the Thunderers I probably wouldn't have been able to keep online for the entirety of the fight. I think the Quarrelers were a better choice here, just because I was able to keep their damage arced over my units, because I didn't have as many hills to use to my benefit. And the Goblobber still kind of 45 kills. I'll take it. You know, I always get my artillery shut down, so I'll take anything I can get from artillery, even if it's 2 kills. But this was a very fun fight for me. I hope you guys really enjoyed it, as the first kind of official dwarf win on the channel as it is. So if you have any critiques for what I should have brought, do remember I was 1,000 funds down, so there was supposed to be a runesmith in this army. But I'd love to hear how you guys would have structured this a little bit different, or what you would have taken instead. My mentality on this was to take 4 Longbeards to combat Graveguard without thinking about these units being a possibility. I had taken Ulthar's Raiders and Dragonback Slayers on a suggestion, and it ended up turning out pretty well for me, I think. But thanks for watching here today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one as much as I did. Feel free to comment, give me some critiques, subscribe, any of that goodness. But look forward to some more posts, some more thematic battles, and some more lore. Have a good one, guys, and take care.